Good afternoon, and welcome to WATD's Powerful Women Revealed, sponsored by Nicole Perry. You're invited to enjoy an ongoing series of uplifting, educational, and intimate discussions with a variety of powerful women that have all made the commitment to take their businesses and organizations to a higher level. These entrepreneurs all have a mission and appreciate the opportunity to share their stories with you. These women reveal their inspirations, milestones, and successes with your host, Nicole Perry.
Good afternoon and welcome to Powerful Women Revealed. We are going to have a fantastic show today. My guest has over 30 years experience in commercial real estate. She has owned her own 24-hour gym business for several years and then sold that in 2014. And now she is consulting others to help them find the franchise of their dreams. Elaine Vakalopoulos, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I got your name right.
You sure did.
It's such a fun name. I love it. And you are so fun. We haven't even known each other that long, and I already know we're going to have a great show today. So really, I want to kick off the show with stating that you are on Cape Cod, Mid-Cape.
Yep.
How long have you been there?
I've lived on the Cape since 2005.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
not born and raised there.
No, I'm actually a Boston public school kid.
Oh.
And went through primary years there, Watertown High School, and
Nice.
did college in Boston at Northeastern. And then I migrated to the South Shore, where I did 10 years of commercial brokerage.
And where the heck is Watertown?
Oh, it's a little west of Boston.
Okay.
It's a nice little bedroom community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so after 10 years of doing that on the South Shore, I ended up going back to school. I went to MIT and got my master's in real estate, which catapulted me in an entirely different direction. So I ended up going on Wall Street and analyzing commercially traded real estate stocks. And then I went to Chicago and I did a little bit of the same, and then national commercial lending. I was an underwriter. So I've kind
You're
of
like
been
a brainiac. I'm discovering right now.
I tend to hide that. Yeah, I loved real estate. I love being on the dirt. I love the ground. I love everything about buildings. But
And a lot of your clients are men.
many
So I
of them
bet they are very impressed that you went to MIT.
It does.
Impressive.
It has an impact. It does.
It has an impact. It's a really good impact.
Yeah.
Now, so you had a really stable career.
I did.
So you went through all of this extensive schooling.
Yes.
You had a really great, solid career.
Yep.
How did you make that shift into owning your own 24-hour gym?
Well-
or even why?
Yeah. Well, life takes over sometimes, and it makes some decisions for you. In about 2004, I adopted a little boy.
Oh, okay.
And I was living in Chicago at the time, where my family had still been here in Massachusetts. And at the same time, my mother had a heart attack. And I said, I need to shift gears. I needed to just regroup. So I moved back home to my cottage in Dennisport
Oh, okay.
and winterized it, did whatever I had to do to get resettled, and then thought, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Like, I couldn't go back to the corporate life.
yeah.
Boston was too far away.
It was a major crossroads.
Huge shift. So a friend of mine who I'd known forever since our early days at Century 21, who took a different path, and she followed the franchise route. She was a franchise consultant. So
Okay.
she said to me, what are you going to do now? I said, I have no idea. She said, would you think of a franchise? I said, okay,
Maybe.
sure. So she took me through the process that I now take people through.
Who does that? Who says yes? Who says, all right, sure.
Sure, why not? Open. You have to stay open to the opportunities that, you don't know exist out there.
I love it.
So she took me through this process. And of course, it was unique because Cape Cod is different than other parts of the world, right? We have to consider the seasonality,
Yep.
the transient population.
The energy, everything is different.
Everything's different. So, she looked at what was important to me. I had to look at what was going to work in that market. And after looking at a few concepts, I didn't get to know with this one. Do you know what I mean? Like I kept on taking the next level.
Oh, you didn't get to the no.
Right?
Ah.
A couple of them I said, okay, these don't feel like me, or I don't think these will work in this market.
Yeah.
But this one, it fit my criteria. So what was important to me at the time was I had, a certain amount to invest. So I wanted to know what that was going to look like in terms of return on my investment. I needed flexibility. I had a mom that was sick and I had a new little boy.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be locked into a store, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I needed a business that was going to sustain itself year round. So with all of that, this franchise that was a 24-hour gym at the time presented itself and the demographics seemed right. And I spoke with other franchisees in similar markets that validated for me that I think this could work.
Wow.
So
you did your homework.
Very much so.
And it was very successful.
I survived the worst recession we've ever had.
And so then you sold it.
Yeah. And so almost 7 years later, one of my members who had always wanted to own a gym had said to me, if you ever think about selling, I want you to count me in.
You know, that's really fantastic because you did a lot of the legwork. Well, all of it.
I started something in this state. Like that franchise had not been known here at all.
Yeah.
And 24-hour gyms were very unique at the time. So people were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But,
And are you there 24 hours?
Yes.
And things are going through their head.
That was a big question, yeah.
Now, so how do all of these past experiences, or really the one I want to know, because the commercial real estate is a totally different ball game, but how does that come into play today?
You know, it does, because I have kind of an affinity for understanding markets and locations and what could work. Now, of course, every franchise knows where they need to be, but at least I come with that pre-knowledge and can impart that on with the people I speak with.
You come with the experience.
Right, but it's more my analytics. I mean, I'm an analyst by nature. I ask a lot of questions. I do due diligence. I really try to look at markets, people, movement, strategies. There are a lot of questions that you have to ask. So when I analyze commercial real estate stocks, it's kind of the same questions I ask today of franchises.
It all comes naturally to you.
Who's the management? How strong are they? What's their strategy? Has it proven itself successful so far? What is their outlook for the future? And do they have a system that works? The same things I looked at as a stock analyst are the same today as a franchise analyst. So
now, if people are listening right now and they want to go to your website, they can go to yourfranchiseoptions.com.
They can.
Love the website name. But who is the FCC?
The FCC is a group that many independents such as myself have joined together with. So we've pooled resources and we get, economies, benefits of being a bigger entity. So we share knowledge, we have conferences, franchisors then want to work with us because we're, amalgamation of a bunch of people that have a lot of similar experience. And we share. So if you were, let's say, my colleague, I'd say, hey, Nikki, did you ever work with this company before? What was your experience? Tell me how that worked. And we can either elevate a company name or maybe take it off of our list.
Off the plate.
Yeah. And
it's important to know the realistic stories that are out there that you can benefit from, because that's what stories are about, so that people learn from your experience and benefit from it.
That's right.
So this is fantastic, and this is fascinating to me.
I want to share too, there's an educational component to the franchise consulting company, which we call the Franchise MBA, which is a book that the founder had written. So I'm happy to share that book with any of your listeners if they're interested.
Oh, okay, great. Now, what is the purpose of going through you, because you are a consultant?
Yep.
And this is, you're not selling the franchises, you are consulting and guiding. But why would somebody go through you I know the answer, but why would somebody go through you and versus going it alone?
Okay, so let me start by making an analogy. If you're looking for a house, you could go it alone. You might be driving around looking at a lot of open houses and doing a bunch of drive-bys. And if you went to a realtor, they're not going to say, here's the MLS book. Tell me what you want.
There you go. I love that. I love that.
Right?
Because that's how many houses? Gazillions. So really, do you really want to comb through all of that? No, you want somebody to help you narrow it down.
Exactly. Because some of those houses aren't worth looking at, right? Just as franchises. We have a huge pool. There are about 3,000 companies out there. There are maybe 70 categories, and there are several within each one. Okay. So there's the top tier, there's the middle ones, and then there are ones you never want to talk to. So we help you with that.
Yeah,
and
but you don't lean in any direction.
No.
You help them by the information the person gives you.
It starts with the individual.
And it starts with their personality.
Absolutely. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
And people don't think about that when they start looking, because...
How long is the consultation?
The consultation itself doesn't take long. I think after
the initial consultation.
First call is maybe a half hour, it could be an hour. The second call is about another hour, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's enough to give me what I need. Plus you filled out some questionnaires, right? They fill out 2 questionnaires. One is, gives me their narrative, their motivations, their reasons, what they want to do. It includes their financials, and I can explain about what that, relevance is. But also personality index. We have people fill out a personality test, let's call it assessment, where it gives us a little bit of their leanings in terms of management and leadership.
Which you need to know.
Every franchise wants to know.
Okay. Well, we have to go to break.
Okay.
So there is an investment involved.
Absolutely.
But it does vary.
Very much so.
Right? It depends on if it's a service-based franchise, if it's a product-based. There's so many different things involved.
Yes.
Okay.
If I could touch on that, or people can take $50,000 or $500,000. Capital, liquid capital, net worth, and credit scores are all very important.
Okay. All right. But it's possible.
Absolutely.
Anything's possible.
There's something for everyone.
Okay. So my guest is Elaine Vakalopoulos, and you can go to yourfranchiseoptions.com. You are listening to Powerful Women Revealed right here on 95.9 WATD.